It is 2024, ladies and gentlemen. 2024. We made it.
Sorry.
We made it into the new year.
Literally like 24 hours out of back surgery here.
This guy just had back surgery on his, what's the nerve called?
My L5 disc.
L5 disc.
Pushing on my S1 nerve. It was awful, man. The last 3 months been terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just had that done 2 nights ago, so struggling a little bit here today, but you still got to get the work in. So let's do it.
Still got to do it.
What do you think of What do you think of the wall back there? You like that?
I love it, man. I love
Looks
the
good, right?
the Wolfpack sign and the EXP. Yeah, it actually turned out really, really
Science
good.
Plus did that.
I'd like to drink this like this, but I'm gonna end up giving the camera the finger the whole time.
I know. Oh, and Brandon broke his finger, so
So it's not actually a broken finger. It's a damaged and torn ligament extender in my dip joint on my middle finger.
How did you do that, Brandon?
Karaoke.
Karaoke,
man.
Karaoke got him.
Karaoke gets you every single time. Every single time. That's what I get for having a little bit of fun over the holidays. This is what happens right here when you crack a bottle of booze. Bad things happen.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm rolling into this year completely sober, and I feel absolutely amazing.
Except for your broken finger.
Well, this doesn't mean I'm not sober.
Anyway,
I actually feel good. This is fine. Like, I'm not upset. I was upset for one day.
I'll trade you
Absolutely.
a finger
man.
for a back.
Well, based on how long's your recovery?
6 weeks. So you're like 3 months.
3 months.
Well, 6 weeks of not doing like
Nothing.
anything.
Right. Okay.
Anyway, let's get right into some things here.
Yeah, we gotta
go quick
today. We
today.
only have 17 minutes on this one, so let's dive in. What do you want to start with?
I want to start with man. I can't believe is it the 5th? January 5th?
Yep.
I can't believe it's January 5th. We've been straight out, dude. Like
This is good.
Right up until Christmas. We never took any time off at all.
Yeah.
And man, we've been like hard at it, getting things dialed in for the new year. Some systems in place. Like there's so much I want to talk about. But yeah, man, I looking forward to this year. We're hiring an assistant right now.
Yep.
Doing some interviews
an
for that.
administration assistant for all of the paperwork and like Sky Slope and things along those lines. So stuff that we could be more productive, doing other things, right?
Yeah, man. Like
some of that stuff is time consuming. It's important, and we're going to look it all over. But having somebody as a VA to train this original, so the first VA is going to almost be like a team leader hire.
Yep.
Where we're going to train them. You spend a lot of time with the first VA, and the ideal situation is if it works out and they end up being good, you can use them to then train other VAs as you grow and scale.
Yeah, man. So it's huge because that's what we were learning coming up into towards the end of 2023 is getting all these systems in place. Like we have people doing our marketing. Now we're going to train the VA. We have some people doing some YouTube stuff for us. Bookkeepers, like all these little things for any business. It's so essential. And having that dialed in, it takes a long time to get it done. But now we can take more time and focus on ourselves, our business. Like focusing on ourselves is huge. And I didn't have time for that last year as much. So
yeah,
it's very important to me.
I'm feeling great this year, man. I've this is one of the most productive weeks I've had in a long time. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we spent a rigorous amount of time actually down here, right here in the studio, setting our goals for the year, breaking those goals down into actionable items that are then going to help us achieve those goals. So having goals is one thing, but if you don't have an actual way of and a plan and a way of actually achieving the goals, then it's just almost a dream at that point, right?
So let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, exactly. So then we set the goals, made plans for how we're going to achieve those goals, and actually broke it down into like our blocks of like things that we need to do. It's like what is actually going to help us get to our goal, and we have our blocks on our calendar, reoccurring events set up. So it's going to help us actually get there. So like when you look at mine in yours calendar right now, it's like flat out for the first like 4 hours of each day. Yeah. So what I'm figuring is like, okay, we're going to use that time to work on our business, and then the afternoons and slightly into the evenings to actually work in the business and do the things, showings, client appointments, stuff like that. Because most times people don't want to be doing things in the morning, really. So it's a perfect time to do it.
Yeah, it was kind of fly by night the last few years. And I'll tell you, like, that took a long time for us to put all that in place. We were down here for like 4 or 5 hours straight, literally breaking every single thing down. But it's so satisfying.
Man,
getting up,
so
knowing
good.
what you're doing, like just setting that schedule. It's amazing. And I'd be happy to share it with anyone. Now, we're going to tweak that as the year goes on. And as the days go on, you just learn as you go and what works and what doesn't. But I will tell you, for anybody who never did that before, it is a must. It's a game changer. You have to do it because it, like Brandon was just saying about the reoccurring events, like we have our crew has Zoom calls or coaching calls weekly. That shows up every week, same time. So that's not negotiable. We're there every week at that time, no matter what. I'm always looking at my calendar for everything. Even if my kids' events are in there, I'm picking up my kids at school in there every day.
Yeah, that has
because
to be
I don't
in
want
there.
to screw it. I'll screw it up and then I'll forget things. And anyway, man, it was a lot of work. Nothing's easy, but starting to set things up as a real business, a game changer.
It is, man. It is. And when you start treating it like a real business. So like you said, last year, it's funny. This is my 5th year coming in. Like, so this is the start of my 5th year in real estate. And it's like the last 4 years have been great. Everything's been great, but there's been the first couple of years I really did have a plan. Like I sat down and I set some like goals, but I didn't really know what I was doing.
Yeah.
And then things were going good and working, but then you get to a point where it's like the growth kind of gets stagnant because you don't have organization in the business.
How did that make you feel?
Systems.
So when now looking back, Brandon, like how did that now that you have a schedule in place, looking back that when you didn't, how does that make you feel, like the difference from then to now?
It's day and night. Like I'm excited to get going in the morning now because I'm like, I know exactly what I have to do. I know exactly what I need to be doing. And
before you were,
and like you said, so the schedule is going to be tweaked. So it's like this right now is my Q1 schedule. I think that's your intention as well.
Yep.
Right. So it's our Q1 schedule, and then what we're going to do is tweak this coming into Q2. What items here maybe aren't producing the best result? What could we tweak? And maybe some of them don't need as much time anymore because now we have systems in place to run, like let's say like the CRM slots that we have. Like we have 3 hours a week booked for just working on our CRMs.
Right now,
which is something I've never done in real estate. And Jenny Selly brought up a really wild point
crazy
that blew my mind. Something around 50% of real estate agents don't open their CRM.
50%. And I was one of them. And there's a lot to it, but they're so powerful. That's a big thing for us is getting that dialed in. And you can't look at the past. It's a rear view mirror, right?
Yeah.
You got to look out the front window.
Oh, yeah. No,
but you
just
look at all the data that we've lost over the last 5 years and not keeping track of it. And obviously we changed brokerages and we lost quite a bit of data there. But anyway, it is what it is. Moving forward, you got to keep track on that. Like send out your weekly emails to your whole sphere every week. Like anyway, the CRM is super powerful. And Jenny did say that stat, 50%.
Blew my mind, man. That blew my mind. And that's just one of the things that we're working on. There's a whole bunch of other things too.
A whole bunch.
So I think that's going to make a big difference coming into 2024. It's already feeling great. It already feels incredible waking up and having these things to do. Now, the thing you have to do is like when you have those slots, now you have to make sure that you hold your own integrity and that you commit to doing what you need to do, because it's very easy for someone to say, hey, do you want to meet for a coffee this morning? It's like, let me look at my schedule and then we'll see. And it's like, okay, I'm actually available at 1 p.m. or at 2.
Yeah.
Like, and then moving things around that. And like you said, you have to put your own life in there too. So your kids, put things that are important to you. Like if you're going on a trip, if you have anything important for family, friends, anything like that, put that first and then build the business around it.
Yep.
Always make time for the business, but make sure that you're making time for yourself too.
Like creating time, not managing it. Creating. We got to create more time for ourselves.
Yeah.
And the only way to do that is have your calendar absolutely dialed. But this year as well, going forward, like what are some other things that you would want to like do for yourself? Like you mentioned the other day to me, was it mentioned you want to join the archery club?
Yeah, so I'm going to do that. They were going to, they didn't have it last night. It's every Thursday night. So I'm going to do that, which is just going to, I love archery. So I have a compound bow, and then I got my first deer with it last year. Wasn't lucky enough this year. I think my blind was pathetic, and I have to do a better blind this year if I'm being very honest with myself. But yeah, so join the archery club, meet new people. Big thing this year is getting into the best shape of my life. I ran a marathon last year. I want to run at least 2 this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to run at least 2 this year. Doing 75 hard right now. I'm on day like 4. Completely sober, eating clean, workout twice a day. I feel incredible.
Awesome,
I feel incredible. Even with my finger here. Funny story, actually. I just came from the hospital to look at a surgeon, or a surgeon actually was looking at my finger. And then the occupational therapists were pretty well saying, okay, so we just want to let you know that you're not allowed to lift heavy things. And this is going to take about 3 months. And I said, okay, well, I just want to let you know that I'm going to lift heavy things for the entire 3 months because I need to work out. I need to work out. Like, I just have to.
I know.
So it's like finding, somebody could use this as an excuse of like, oh, this is why I'm not going to work out. This is why I'm not going to work out for 3 months, or you could find what you can do. And that's what I want to do this year.
You're telling me, man.
This year I want to find reasons why I can do things.
Yep.
And everything within its own limits. Like you just had that back surgery, but like you're still going to find things you can do. You're still coming here right now, man.
I can't.
That's dedication.
Not being able to work out, like that's was so important to me. I would go every morning, and that's where I get rid of all my stress at the gym. So, but I'm not going to make excuses for that because I'm still right now. I'm doing the same thing. I want to be in the best shape ever because if I don't look after myself, I can't look after anything else. So, like, I want to be, not that I'm not now, but I want to be better to my kids, better to my wife. And again, not that I'm not now, but I want to be. So if I
get better. Right?
Oh, you can always get better at everything, and I want to look after myself more. So once I can, like right now, I'm allowed to work. I can only walk like 4 minutes right now, so it's kind of tricky. That was brutal, man. The last few months have been rough, but a couple other things like no, go ahead, man. What are you gonna say on that topic?
So I think what we're talking about here is actually pretty important because it's resonate with both of us.
Yeah.
And I bet you there's a lot of people out there that have injuries or have had injuries in the past.
Not easy.
And I know from my personal experience of having a broken collarbone, having 7 screws in there, that you can get down on yourself pretty easy because like I was saying to you earlier, it's like as we are, like we want to be able to do as much as possible. We want to be able to go out and like you said, like play with your kids and stuff like that. Like you're going to want to, but it's so important to be disciplined at the same time and be patient with yourself during these recoveries. Like I just came from the gym and I was so frustrated because I'm not able to do the regular amount of weight, but I'm being patient with myself and just doing less weight than I normally do, knowing this is better than doing nothing.
Right. Yeah, man. Anyway, I'm going to put through it. I love it that you're doing it too. And it is hard on the head, man.
Just for the note, like his is way more serious than mine.
Oh, but it doesn't matter, man. It's all good. I can't. Yeah. I'll tell you what drives me crazy. For the past 3 months, and not to talk about myself or anything, man, but I've been so much pain that many nights most nights, I'm literally on the floor in tears. My wife has to do everything. We had a party here New Year's Eve. I had to sneak downstairs here. That was close. I had to sneak down. That would have been whatever. It's all good. It's only water, coffee. I had to sneak downstairs at 10 o'clock, and I was on the couch in my basement. No joke. In tears, in pain. Couldn't stand up. No feeling in my legs. So what happened was I went to the specialist on Wednesday morning, and he made me close my eyes. And I didn't know why. And he starts rubbing his hand down my whole leg. And
blew my mind.
And then I opened my eyes. He's like, "Did you feel that?" I was like, "Feel what?" He was rubbing I had no idea he was touching my leg at all. Completely gone, completely numb. And this was Wednesday at 11 a.m. and he was operating on me by 7 o'clock Wednesday night. And he was worried that I was going to have permanent nerve damage. So I'm in pretty rough shape right now. And for anybody who's going through anything like that, it's not easy. But and especially as for me, and I like to do things. I'm always involved with the kids. I'm helping doing stuff around the house and not being able to bend over. Like just to get down here was a challenge. But again, I hope this motivates somebody that you can do anything and you're not alone. And anyway, man, good to have you as a friend because you always text me every day to keep me in check. So, because I get my own mind really easy, eh?
Dude, well, I know. I just know from experience. I know how I felt coming out of surgery, and I felt like absolute shit. And I was depressed, and I was thinking, I'm not even able to protect myself. And I was just thinking, like, I'm a broken human. I'm a broken human walking around right now. And I kept having that narrative in my head, and it was making me extremely depressed. And I just know coming out of surgery, it's like once I started to get better and I started to I'm just gonna move for a second. I started to improve. I was like, damn, the human body is so impressive. Like I thought it was going to be like this forever. But then I quickly realized, like, no, I'm not. Like this is all just, you have to be patient and go through this and realize that it's not permanent when you're healing through these things. Because it can, 3 months, 6 weeks, whatever it is, can feel like so long when you're used to doing a lot.
You know, one thing I'd like to try this, actually I'm going to once I get better. Obviously it's not going to be for a while, but both my kids, they're only 2 and 4, going to be 3 and 5, but they're both in Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
And I would love to get into that, just for the mind, the exercise, something different. I was talking to my son's my coach there, and he's like, yeah, man, like, definitely do it. You would love it. And I enjoy going to watch them because I'll tell you what I love about my kids being in Jiu-Jitsu and learning to protect themselves. Obviously, they're not fighting right now or anything crazy.
Do they spar?
They're just learning the moves and discipline and hearing things from a different person.
Now, when they're learning the moves, are they are they doing it with other people though?
Yes, they're starting to now. The oldest,
yeah, man. Yeah.
But what I like, the world's not an easy place to live in today. Like it's getting worse and worse, and there's so many bullies out there, and so many kids get bullied. So like, I want at least they can protect themselves if need be, and and not only that, a confidence booster, just knowing that you can protect yourself, and it's an awesome sport, man.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. Except the world is I feel like the world's a little bit easier now than it was before. Not for bullies and shit. I just mean we got a lot of fucking luxuries.
No. I just mean it can be a mean place for kids growing up. Like there's a lot.
100%. Well, the scary part about that is that it comes home with them.
Well, that's just, and they don't talk about it, right?
Once your kids get cell phones, then the bullying comes home. Man. Like when you and I were young, if somebody was being a piece of shit to us at school, when we came home, at least it was done.
It was done.
Yeah. And then it's like, okay.
Now there's Snapchat, Facebook,
now it all
Instagram.
Comes home. That's the scary part there, man. But I really like what you're kind of touching on there. Did you do any of the martial arts when you were younger?
I never did. I was too tied up with other sports like hockey and stuff.
You played a lot of sports and stuff
like that.
But
I wish I had. But I mean, you can't. That's why I'd like to try it now because I would have loved to learn that
when I was younger, man, and it was wicked. It was I was a yellow belt at probably 12 years old, maybe 10 or maybe even younger. Sir. It was it was actually elementary school, so whatever age that is, 9, I don't know, but I was oh
jeez, I can't freaking laugh.
I was a yellow belt, and it's funny. So I did that for a little while, and then when I was doing commercial diving college, up in PEI, Holland College, I rejoined another jiu-jitsu group up there. So
you did? I didn't know that. PEI.
Yeah. So about 6 years ago, I rejoined just because I was like, I want to get back into this. So it was jiu-jitsu and boxing, and got back into it for a little bit. Then I broke my collarbone.
How'd you like boxing?
So here's what I want to say, and here's what I want to bring up to you. A friend of mine brought this up, and he made a really good point because I was saying exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
I was saying that I want to do. Damn.
What time is
it? It's almost 1 o'clock. So here, wait.
Okay, we got a Zoom call coming up.
I wanted to do jiu-jitsu, but he goes, Brandon, would you rather do jiu-jitsu or boxing? Because in jiu-jitsu, there's a high chance you can still break bones. I know people that are our age who just do regular moves and practice moves
Yeah.
and have broken collarbones, have broken wrists, ankles, and it's
yeah.
like, actually, I'm not in the mood to break bones. Now, I think jiu-jitsu is a amazing sport, and maybe, but what he suggested, and I really like this because I like the cardio aspect of it, was boxing. Because boxing's very rare unless you're actually going in like competitively
Even
fighting.
if you're not fighting, you're just going for the workout, right?
For the workout and shit, yeah.
I guess
so it's got me thinking. I'm like, that was an interesting point, but I do have a week free of, or a month free of jiu-jitsu on the east side of St. John that I'm going to use, though.
yeah,
just to
use it
test
up.
out.
Anyway, I'd like to try it out once I get better, but yeah, we're hopping on this was just a short one today. We didn't really get to dive into too much, but it was still fun. We are going on our Zoom call with Ricky Caruth. This guy is an amazing coach. He is one of the top agents at EXP, and he is an absolute stud. Can't wait to get on that call and learn some stuff from him.
Can I just say something? This was the fastest 20 minutes I've ever had.
Yeah, it was fun though. I enjoy it, man. We just rolled with
20
it.
minutes. That felt like
I'm
6
glad
minutes.
because I got to get up and go for my 4-minute walk here right now. But too, for everyone listening, like any challenges, like physically, mentally, it is not easy. You're not alone, and like you can push through it. We'll do it together.
Yeah, and if anybody can do it, dude, you're gonna push through it.
I'm coming back stronger than ever here. It's
know
gonna be
you
my
are.
best year of my life, and we're gonna do it together. We're gonna have a good time, man.
Me too with my finger.
Yes, sir.
Hey, thank you guys for watching. We'll be doing this every other week, so
We get
hit the like, subscribe, leave a comment if you got any questions. If you think there's anything we should talk about.
next week. We're gonna have the lady Emma Elliott, who does my marketing.
Is she on next week?
She's coming on next week.
Yes.
And she also does home staging. Very, very talented. So looking forward to introducing her.
We want to keep bringing on more guests. We were supposed to have one today, but they bailed. Not going to mention any names.
No, bailed 5 minutes before recording. Had everything ready to go.
Everything ready to go.
Ready
it's
to
the
go.
Third seat right
Third
here,
seat
but it's
right-
not on the camera, so that's okay.
It's all good. All right, guys.
Evan, thank you very much, man.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
See you later, man.